Gamers, we have a big issue happening right now. For anybody who does not know, recently, Steam and itch.io are under attack by payment processing companies. Now, what does that mean? Payment processing companies, if you're not familiar, is stuff like Visa and MasterCard, and there's like one more. Visa and MasterCard. There's one more. Can't think of it right now. But they have been forced into making a decision by this group called Collective Shout, and somehow they have managed to get certain games on Steam and certain games on itch.io censored and taken down under threat of losing their processing method. Yes, they are telling you how you should spend your money. But I have a video here from Charlie. He's going to go into depth with it. We're going to go ahead and watch him and hear what he has to say about it.
There is huge censorship going on in gaming right now. I'm sure a lot of you saw Steam a few days back announced that hundreds of games have been pulled from their catalog because of the efforts of a group known as Collective Shout. Collective Shout is an organization that has been forcing payment processors to bully platforms into removing games they deem unfit for sale due to the themes around them. And
yeah, so just what they deem unfit to be on the platform, what they decide.
And for Steam's case, they targeted hundreds of adult games that featured, like, rape and incest. And a lot of people were pumping their fist like, yeah, that's good. How could you possibly be mad at that? Less degeneracy and disgusting shit on the platform. This is a big W across the board. It's not censorship if it's things I don't like being taken down. Obviously, like every weapon out there, this is only going to be used for good. Clearly, they're only going to use this power to take down very bad, gross things, which is the most low IQ take.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute.
Collective Shout just yesterday has now also gone after itch.io, and they have removed every single not suitable for work game from their platform. Not just rape and incest games, all adult games. We have de-indexed all adult NSFW content from our browse and search pages. We understand this action is sudden and disruptive, and we are truly sorry for the frustration and confusion caused by this change. Recently, we came under scrutiny from our payment processors regarding the nature of some content hosted on itch.io. Due to a game titled No Mercy, which was temporarily available on itch.io before being banned back in April, the organization Collective Shout launched a campaign against Steam and itch.io directing concerns to our payment processors about the nature of certain content found on both platforms.
This is not good, guys. I'm going to say this now. If we allow this to continue, they are going to go even farther with censorship. Right now, they're just targeting, well, at least with Steam, they just targeted these incest and rape games. That's an easy thing for most people to be like, oh yeah, that's a W. That shit's nasty. That shit doesn't belong on Steam. Nobody should be allowed to buy that. And then you saw they took it a step further by making it so no not safe for work games on itch.io were allowed. Who's to say that they're going to stop? It's whatever they decide. And I don't understand why these pussy ass payment processors get to decide how we spend our money. Why do they get to decide?
So this is the playbook here. Collective Shout is a very powerful organization who somehow has a lot of leverage on payment processors. I don't know if they're just over there giving them perpetual wet willies, or they got some serious dirt on like the upper echelon elites in the food chain at the payment processors. Like they got proof they're in the Epstein files or some shit. But they have got these payment processors by the nutsack, and they are squeezing the piss from their balls. So now the payment processors are LARPing as the moral authority on what people are allowed to spend the money they earned on. So they're making these sweeping censorship changes to Steam and itch.io. Steam, they made it very easy for the public to not make a big stink about it because they went after a very low-hanging fruit target that most people aren't going to be upset about. Oh no, you lost all your rape and incest games. Boo.
Yeah, easy target.
Fucking wambulance. But what people don't realize is that is clearly just the first step here. Collective Shout has now already taken that, which hasn't even been like a full week, and it's translated it to wiping all adult content from itch.io, a totally separate platform using the same methodology of having the payment processors threaten to leave them. Censorship is not something that is a good thing. This is not a positive thing. Yoko Taro also came forward saying, like, this is pretty bad stuff, that other countries can now limit everyone else's free speech. He's right. That's not great. You don't like to see that. And let's go ahead and extend this to its natural conclusion here. As Collective Shout becomes more and more successful at censoring games, other organizations will spring up and do the same for things Collective Shout maybe doesn't want to see censored. Like, who's to say with this censorship, now that it's proven that it can be done by having the payment processors threaten to pull out of these services, if you could bully them through the payment processors, you win. That's checkmate. Who's to say an organization doesn't pop up that wants to take away all kinds of LGBTQ representation in games? And now
I didn't even think about that. If they're able to get away with it, what is stopping other fucking organizations from pushing a censorship of an agenda they don't like? I didn't even realize that. Holy shit. This could turn into a really bad scenario where everything is being targeted for censorship.
That they have a proven formula to follow, they could easily spring up and be probably very successful. Another organization could come about where they believe that M-rated games just shouldn't exist. Games should be focused purely to appeal to a younger demographic. They shouldn't be deep, thought-provoking games. There should be no violence. There could easily be a very puritanical organization that comes forward making similar pushes for censorship. I don't know how delusional you have to be to think that somehow this is only ever going to be used against bad things. It's not. And it's already extending way beyond what it started with for Collective Shout. They started with a very easy win on a genre of games that most people aren't really going to miss. And they have already extended that to just broad adult content from another platform, itch.io. And as they continue to be more successful, more organizations are going to follow that blueprint, follow those footsteps, and be successful as well, censoring other things that maybe Collective Shout doesn't want to see censored. It's going to just be fucking pandemonium, because it is clear now that these platforms are willing to go belly up, roll over, and suck the fucking schmeat of the payment processing cartel that shackles them. These payment processing patriots, who all of a sudden care so deeply about morality, are able to get these platforms to censor themselves at the behest of the organizations that are strong-arming them. It's absurd, and it doesn't stop there. If you do any amount of research on Collective Shout, you'll see that it's not just like adult games. They also went after Detroit Become Human and Grand Theft Auto 5 for absolutely fucking outlandish reasons. Like, this is actual horse hockey. And another scary fact, the article I was reading on stream, which I'm going to show you clips from so you can see about their previous attempts to go after things like Detroit Become Human and GTA 5, that article that I was reading then got taken down 8 hours after stream because Vice deemed it was a little too controversial, because the article wasn't super favorable to Collective Shout. So Collective Shout not only has pull in censoring games, but it looks like they can even take down some articles that are a little, harsh on how they're going about their mission or what they're trying to do here. In other words, it seems virtually impossible for Steam to host any adult games depicting child abuse. Rather, Collective Shout might be targeting popular video games that depict children in scenarios where they face distress or harm, even if these depictions are intended to encourage concern and care in the player. From there, the organization may be describing these titles as featuring child abuse.
What?
In 2018, Collective Shout encouraged its supporters to sign a petition to ban Detroit Become Human for sale in Australia, claiming the game features child abuse and violence against women.
Wait. So they want to censor any kind of adult sensitive topic that deserves to be explored. If anybody has played Detroit Become Human, there is very clear signs of a story being told of a group of androids figuring out what it means to be alive. Are they alive? And there are moments of child abuse, but it's shown as a bad thing. It's shown as a thing that should not be celebrated. And it shows violence against women, yes, but it also shows violence against men. So I don't understand. Why are they only defending the women violence and not saying that just violence in general? Because they're not being attacked because they're a woman. They were being attacked because of the things they were doing in the story. But these people don't care about that. They just say that, oh, it's all child abuse, it's violence against women, and they're probably the same organization that claims that you playing video games, you playing GTA 5, you playing Black Ops 3, I'm betting into the zombies again, you playing God of War is going to somehow make you a more violent person. This is the people that have pull, guys. This shit is not cool. This shit's scary.
The petition focused on an abusive father's violent behavior towards his housekeeper and daughter in the game. This dynamic, core to the character Kara's story arc, is intended to encourage empathy for the abused woman and child. While it's unclear whether Collective Shout is actively targeting Detroit Become Human in 2025, the removal of such a game would be akin to artistic censorship of material discussing misogynistic abuse against female family members. Targeting the game, in other words, could be considered anti-feminist in intent. That doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's already shown to be a really terrible bad thing. So why? Do they just don't want to, it must be like the, oh, my eyes, they're too pure to see this kind of vulgarity. Get it off my screen. I don't want to see kids abused. I don't want to see adult men beat up women. That stuff doesn't happen. I don't want to see it. Keep it away from my virgin eyes. Keep it away. Get it away from me.
In 2014, the organization called on Target to remove Grand Theft Auto 5 from store shelves, sharing a petition that claims the game encourages players to commit sexual violence and kill
women. Oh my
women.
God, here we go.
Collective Shout described GTA as if it were a misogynistic funhouse, stating the game...
The same fucking argument from the early 2000s with GTA San Andreas. It doesn't work. It's stupid. There's no evidence to prove that video games cause violence. It's so dumb.
Players enact their fantasies of committing extreme violence against women, including punching women to the point of unconsciousness, killing them with a bat, gun, or machete, running them down with a car, and setting them on fire as they continue screaming.
Oh, so you mean like every what NPC in GTA?
What? So that all this is only reserved
for women.
Acceptable if it's men. Like if you're killing men with a bat, gun, and machete.
Here we go.
Down with the car
this
and
again.
setting them on fire as they scream. These arguments are so weak and flimsy, and I think just downright detrimental to what they claim their mission is. This would basically, like these two things in conjunction, would make it so like most games won't even put women in there.
Yeah.
So let's take the first example about like how children in like distress and harm is something that they would target and try and take down. It's
so there would be no children at all in video games. No kid representation in video games.
Went after Detroit Become Human. Let's extend that scope. Things like Limbo, Last of Us, Out of Sight, like these games where there are kids present and they do go through like hardship.
Yeah, Plague. There's what's the other one? Is Plague a Tale of Two Sons? That's a different one. There's a Tale of Two Sons, Limbo, Detroit Become Human, God of War Ragnarok, Heavy Rain. Honestly, even Skyrim, Fallout. Yeah, no, this is fucking so dumb. Guys, this is so stupid.
That would be removed under their guidelines here. In Detroit Become Human, it's not like they're trying to glorify this type of horrible thing. It is used as a way of showcasing how bad a situation is and
Exactly.
getting empathy from the player for what is happening to these characters. And yet they want to take it down, even though it is used to deliver positive messaging to the
don't
player.
abuse women and
It's
kids.
like they don't want any deep themes in their games, and not only that, it's like they don't want women to even be interactable in the games. So also something that wouldn't fly under their protocol here would be things like Tomb Raider. Any game where a female is leading it wouldn't really be possible.
All female leaded games.
The women in the game are going to go through distress. Like Lara Croft goes through a lot worse than what they listed. GTA 5 being a misogynistic funhouse. Lara Croft gets killed in so many different ways potentially if you fail certain things. She's constantly being hunted, hurt. It's all like
I'll never forget that scene in the Tomb Raider reboot where you're sliding down that hill. I'm pretty sure you're sliding down a hill. And if you don't dodge it, she gets impaled through the neck with a metal rod while she's clawing at it and trying to get off it. That shit fucked me up, dude. I couldn't believe they were willing to show that. That shit looked so fucking gruesome.
Pretty much no game with a female character in it could be made if Collective Shout continues to gain this much power. It's a fucking absurd notion here. God of War, the new God of War, those games couldn't be made because Kratos' son obviously goes through a lot there. That would be a child in a harmful and distressing situation. It would be poo-pooed by Collective Shout. They would banish that shit to the Shadow Realm. Like, their rules on what is and is not acceptable are just unhinged. Again, this would fundamentally, like, scrub women from video games. I don't know why they're not grasping that concept. They call GTA 5 a misogynistic funhouse because you can hurt women in it and that kind of thing, which you can also do to men. But the issue is exclusively because women can also be hurt and killed in GTA 5, just the men can.
This is just a group.
It's not like GTA.
This is just a group of Karens, dude. Oh my god. Get these bitches away from my games. Get them away from shit. They literally cause all the issues in the world right now. Get these old, out of touch, wrinkly ass Karens away from my hobby. They don't understand anything. They pretend they do. They want their lives to mean something.
5 is telling the player, you have to go commit these sexual violent acts against women right now. We need you as a player to score 100 sexual violent crimes against our women in the city right now. Go out there. That's the quest. Go fucking just slap 1,000 women for maximum turbo gamer points. Like, it's pretty fucking crazy. So basically, if you are going to have women in the games, the only way I see that even be possible with Collective Shout's, groundwork they're laying,
if they're in like the background,
the way I understand it, is if every female in the game is immortal, God mode activated, and uninteractable outside of dialogue and cutscenes, but the female character also cannot go through anything distressing or deep, basically has to just be like a completely flat nothing burger of a character. Otherwise, it could be like too much harm that they faced or something in the game. It just seems completely antithetical to what the mission they claim to have is. Again, with how they have targeted games in the past and what they're currently doing, it feels like most game companies, in order to play ball with these demands, will probably just elect to not have female-facing games, like with a lead female protagonist.
You guys remember that giant increase in, like, powerful women in video games and, like, not just damsel in distress women in video games? Yeah, they want to backtrack now. They don't want that shit anymore. They don't want women to be harmed or anything in any way. So I guess just no more primary female protagonists in video games then.
Protagonist, and they will probably ensure that the female characters that might appear in the game don't play a big role in it because they never know what Collective Shout might have an issue with. And since these games' budgets are so bloated these days, I don't think they'll be willing to take any kind of chances, any type of risk of their game being just like wiped off of like.
Hope you guys are ready just for sausage
like
fest.
Steam. So they'll probably just elect to play it safe and have any female characters just in the background with a really insignificant role. Because again, there's no way of knowing what Collective Shout's going to try and spin when it comes to these games and these characters. Like, again, Detroit Become Human. All of that they listed there as an issue, that was literally in the game to deliver messaging on how unacceptable that shit is. Yeah. It was used for empathy, not a glorification or anything at all. It was actually delivering a message that really feels very in line with what Collective Shout claims to fight for. It is completely out of control. And let's go ahead and just continue to play a little here, a little theater of the mind.
Oh boy.
If you can successfully bully payment processors, and it's reported that Collective Shout is doing this by constantly phoning them up with like 1,000 employees or so. I don't know if that's all confirmed or not. But if you can get 1,000 people together and successfully have these payment processors threaten to leave some of the biggest platforms for gaming, think about what kind of power you can control with these payment processors. If
everything.
You can just have them like puppets on your strings. That is so dangerous. There is no amount of mental gymnastics you can possibly do to conjure up a justification for why a payment processor has a say in what you can spend your money on. What they will permit you to spend your doubloons on. That is a bad direction for the future, which obviously extends far beyond just video games. This is a much bigger topic, a bigger issue than just gaming. If payment processors now going to step in and basically be like the fucking, lacrosse house party guy who's like, who do you know here? No, you're not allowed in. When you're trying to spend your money on a product, we've got a huge problem. Just play with that possibility here for a second.
No.
But let's say you want to
That's not good.
A dildo or something, right? You want an adult sex toy. Well, what if the payment processors deem those to be obscene? We will not support any businesses that are selling these adult toys. Consumers shouldn't be able to buy these. Okay, all of a sudden you can't buy those? That's been fucking wiped out. And let's take it to something that's not even sexual. Let's say a katana or something. I want a katana for my room. I really liked some of the blades from One Piece. It'd be really nice to have a replica blade. Well, turns out the payment processors deem those to be a little too dangerous and threaten to pull out of any websites that are offering katanas for sale because those are some very scary, lethal weapons. So, can't buy those anymore. It's a big issue.
No.
Payment processors should have no say in what you spend your fucking money on. Of course, that doesn't apply when it's like you trying to buy something highly illegal. I get that. But things like this is absurd. Like, this is completely preposterous and out of control. Anyway, I just had to yap about this a bit. That's really it. See ya.
Yeah, no, that is not good, guys. Shit, you share this video. I'm going to go ahead and post a link to Charlie's thing in the description as well. Make sure you give him a like, give him a sub if you haven't already, because this shit needs to be spread around, guys. Don't let this shit continue. This could be very bad for the future.